everybody, welcome to Board Game Breakfast. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
I'm Stephen Bonacore, the podfather of gaming.
And I'm William Burgos. Sorry.
Well, welcome to the show, William. William tried to come on last week, and due to technology snafus, we weren't able to pull that one off. And in the process, we're overjoyed the fact that we went down to only 2 people. Unfortunately, we can't do that this time. So William's back. William, tell people a little bit about yourself. How might they know you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I run a studio that makes board games as well, and RPG games and miniatures. I have one here with me. This Feathered Dragon. It's Draco Studios, and we're based in Mexico. We have done some titles like Dodos Riding Dinos, War for Chicken Island, Lords of Bala, Dragon Bond. And yeah, we're working with a lot of people that with a combined portfolio in Warhammer, Magic the Gathering, Pathfinder, to make Dragon Ball like an IP not just in board games, but eventually a TV series, and we're doing comics and novels right now, so it's very exciting.
That's awesome.
Did you paint that miniature you just showed us?
No, I would love that, but no, this was painted by Angel Giraldes in Spain, who painted the Cthulhu miniature from Simon.
That looks really good, by the way.
That's fantastic.
Well,
yeah, we love miniatures.
Well, speaking of your game, so we got a couple things coming up here, folks. Dice Tower East registration is open. It is filling up. We're almost down to like just a little over 100 tickets left. So if you want to come to Dice Tower East this July 6th through 10th, sign up. But the Jack Vassell Memorial Fund auction is running right now on Board Game Geek. If you want to buy something, bid for something, put something up for auction, or just tell other people about it, check that out. You can find more information about the charity that it supports, jackvassell.org, about helping gamers in their time of need. And in a week and I guess 2 days, or a week and 3 days, the Spring Spectacular starts. Not this coming Monday, but the Monday after that. It's going to be lots of fun. We're going to be doing lots of things. One of the things we're doing is we're playing your game, William, Dodos Riding Dinos live here in the thing. You did not know that yet.
No.
So we're going to be playing lots of different games live. We're going to be announcing the Dice Tower award nominations for last year. And Eric and my new show is going to be starting up there, a kind of an introductory type show to it, and more.
That's exciting.
I just remembered something else we're doing that I need to tell Roy about in a second. But all right, William, you ready to play a game show and see if you can beat me and Mr. Bonacore?
Oh, I'm not sure I can beat you, but I'm ready to play. I enjoyed last week's game, by the way.
Tom, do we have a contest today?
Yes, we do have a contest today. Thank you very much, Z. We have a contest that people can enter because we, you know what? I need to go get the paper for this contest. So, Mr. Bonker, what's going on with your life? I'll be right back.
I'm going on a cruise.
He asks and he leaves. You see how that works, Bonker?
Yeah, he that was like what's that called? A cold pitch. It's like,
hey, tell me how you're doing. Yeah, exactly.
I got remodeling going on here. It's horrible.
And you're done talking. He's back.
Okay, no one cares. All right, so we have a contest today for a game that's on Kickstarter that I know a lot of people are excited about, and that's Jurassic World: The Legacy of Isla Nublar. This is a game that we played last week. We played the tutorial scenario, so it didn't spoil anything, but you can see a little bit about how the game works. We'll do a full review of it, well, when we're done playing through it, which will be a while from now. But this is from Funko Games, and if you win this contest, there's 2 prizes. You get a copy of the game, which is the standard, the $120 pledge tier. And this is for, here we go. It's for USA, APO, Puerto Rico, Canada, UK, European Union, Norway, Switzerland, China, Macau, Hong Kong, the rest of Asia, Australia, New Zealand. That should cover most of you.
Okay.
That's like everybody almost.
Not me.
Sorry.
Mexico.
Oh, I'm very sorry. Well, anyhow, well, that's awkward. Anyway, you can enter this by emailing us at contest@dicetower.com, and in the subject put Jurassic. We'll probably accept all the spellings of Jurassic because I notice I spell Jurassic wrong every single time I type it. It's 1 R, 2 S's. But anyway, that's what you put in the subject line, Jurassic, and then in the body of the email, put the question, what are the 4 starting dinosaurs in the game?
Answer to the question.
The answer to the question, right. And you can figure that out if you watch our playthrough, because we play with these 4 dinosaurs. You can see what they are. And there's even more dinosaurs, but we have not yet discovered what dinosaurs they are in this box.
Will you accept all spellings of Brachiosaurus? I don't know if that's one of them, by the way.
It is not, but yes, if you can get close enough to saying what they are, we'll be fine. So what are the 4 starting dinosaurs? So email us. You got a week to enter this contest. Good luck to everybody. All right. Now, before we do the game show, we got a couple contributors, and we'll be back and see if William can whoop us.
This is a segment we take a look at a board game based on an IP, and I tell you if the IP and the mechanisms match. Today we're looking at Mars Attack 10-Minute Takedown. Here are the targets you're going to have during the game. You're going to have a number of targets equal to number of players plus 1, and you can see they kind of have a picture on them that will happen, and on the back side of these will always be extra points for the bonus. So what you're going to do on your turn is you're going to have a base, and you'll have a saucer that you put on there, and you'll have the dice. And I'm just doing this. It'll be much wider, but I want to kind of show you slid up, and you'll just kind of flick it onto it. Now what's going to happen is if you flick it and the icon does not match, doesn't matter where you flick it on it, you're going to take the outer ring, and you will score 1 point. Now, if you had rolled the icon and it matched the icon on it, then you would take the ring and you would get the bonus, which would be an extra point. And same thing would happen next time. So the next person went, and they were able to hit the target. Oh, there, I got it. They would get the next ring, and because the icon matched, you would get the bonus, which is an additional point. If you were to miss the icon, or you miss the target, you put your saucer there, the die gets picked up, and then the next person would go, say his thing was here, and he could shoot for it. The game's going to end when all of the targets are claimed, and there are no more targets. It takes about 10 minutes or so. And then whoever has the most points is going to be the winner. If there's a tie, whoever got the most targets will be the winner. You just count these up. Then you should have a winner of the game. Very easy to play. Not too much trouble. This is the cashiest cash-in of all the cash-ins. This is a simple flicking game that could have been anything, that they slap some Mars Attack artwork on and say, hey, you're a fan of the movie, buy this. And people probably did buy it. And maybe there's a game here that some people would like. It's not like the game is terrible. You're flicking dice and hoping for the best results, and there's some fun in that. And I think I played this with kids before, and they really like that. But there's nothing here that's like, okay, this is Mars Attack, and the mechanisms and the intellectual property are not coming together at all in this. There's no reason for it to be Mars Attack. There's no pool in it. There's no storyline going on. You're just flicking dice at aliens and killing them. In some regards, that's really cool, but not if you're looking for a Mars Attack board game. This is not it. Nothing here, guys.
Hey, I'm Jordan. This is Weeknight Games, where I talk about a great game to play on a weeknight. And one of my favorite games to come out this year, it's been getting a lot of buzz, is Three Sisters. This is a roll and write game, which I know I talk a lot about roll and write games, but I will go on the record and say that at this time of me filming this is my favorite roll and write game that has ever come out. And this is kind of a sequel to Fleet the Dice game, which is already one of my favorite roll and write games. But this one feels like it took that engine and Fleet the Dice game with all these boxes that you're checking and getting bonus actions and checking and doing all this, all of, that fish stuff. And this one you get to do plant stuff because, plants are fine too. And this one includes a rondel instead of the basic dice drafting that Fleet the Dice game did. So you roll these dice, you put them around a rondel action board. You take the die, whatever die number you take, you get to water or plant in that section of your garden. And then you get to take the action that was on that rondel space as well. And these spaces all over your board are getting, the shed lets you take kind of upgraded actions throughout the game, lets you break the rules in certain ways. There's an apiary that lets you get bees, or you can, collect these fruit trees, and you're going to be collecting goods to sell at the farmer's market, and these flowers you can sell at the farmer's market, and you're planting these, pumpkins and beans and corn and so many awesome, cool things. And as you're doing that, you're going to check off this box, and it's going to give you a bonus action over here. Once you get over to this section, you get to go over here. And it feels like a game where you're not getting a limited number of actions that aren't that great to choose from. It's one of those games where it feels like you have so many options and they're all so awesome. Cool. I really enjoy Three Sisters, one of my favorite games, my favorite roll and write game, and I think it's getting a lot of praise, but it is deserving of that because it's really good, guys. You should definitely check it out. I'm going to stop talking. I'm Jordan. Thanks.
All right, everybody. Welcome to 20 Questions. We are going to be having these three players have asked me questions about a game that I have picked in secret and then take guesses. You guys are going to be going through a guessing. Everybody will take one guess, and then when it comes back around to you, you'll ask a question. So question, guess, and so on. When somebody gets the game, then we will assign 1 point to them, and I'll pick a new game, of which I have quite a few here, and we will keep going from the next player who's up. So let's randomize the order here of the way in which the three of you will play. So let's see. I'm going to do that. Tom, can you guess a number between 1 and 10, please?
9.
Okay, William.
5.
Okay, Bonacor.
3.
All right. So, Will, you're going to be first. My number was 7, and I defaulted to higher is better. So, it's 9, then 5, then 3. So, it'll be William, Tom, Bonacor over and over and over again. All right.
I might argue that I picked 9, but all right.
I believe you did.
Yeah, I thought, isn't that what I said?
You said William was first.
Oh, you're first then, Tom. Yeah, sorry. Tom.
My first victory.
William.
Tom's winning the game
And
already.
then Bonacor. Yeah.
I actually don't want to go first because there's
Yeah.
only one piece of information.
I think going
That's
last is sort
fantastic.
of a small advantage here.
All right.
All
Here
right.
we go.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Tom,
Speaking
you're
of that,
first. You're going to ask me a question about the game, and it can be open-ended. You can ask me anything you want to.
can I ask a quick question here, though? Whoever
Yes.
gets it right,
Yes.
who asks the next question?
The next person who's up.
Shouldn't the person who got it right ask the next question since going first is a disadvantage?
Hmm.
Then don't ask a very good question as an opening salvo. You know what I mean?
All right, fine. Who's the publisher?
The publisher is Floodgate Games.
Oh, I'm not familiar with them.
All right, William, you have a guess. You now would take a guess, and since you don't really quite know yet, you can guess whatever you want to. You just might get
So
lucky.
your guess happens
These are-
before your question?
He does not get a question. When it comes back around to William, he gets a question.
Okay. So the publisher is Floodgate Games.
Yeah, Floodgate Games is the publisher.
Well, you could look it up online and look at the games, right?
No.
I don't even know how to spell that because of language barrier. But anyway, I'm gonna say Party Warriors because I have no idea.
Party
I love that
Warriors is a great guess, but that's not it. Okay, then
Okay.
Bonacor gets a question, and then Tom, you get a guess. That's why every time it comes back to you, you switch between question and guess.
Got it.
All right, Bonacor, what do you got?
What is the box size? We'll go small, medium, large.
The box size is medium.
All right, I'm gonna guess Sagrada.
Sagrada is correct, Tom. That is indeed the game.
Yes.
That is 1 point for you. Let me go to my next game here. And William is going to ask a question.
Will and I are at a distinct disadvantage in this game.
Who's at a disadvantage?
William, and Bonacor disadvantage to this in this game?
What do you mean? No, you'll just let Tom ask.
I'm
really
sorry.
quick questions.
Your name is the Podfather of gaming. It seems to me like you should know everything.
Everything about everything about the industry. Never
The
mind.
focus
Go
is
ahead.
really
Go ahead.
on the pod part, not so much the gaming part.
Thank you, Z.
Sponsored
Appreciate
by
the
Tide.
support.
All right, so William, you can I have another game picked out here. You can ask me anything you want to about that game.
Okay. What's it kickstarted?
It was not kickstarted.
Ooh, interesting
okay.
question.
All right, Bonacor, guess from you. It's very easy. It's the game that wasn't kickstarted. That doesn't leave a lot of options.
Catan.
It's not Catan, but good guess. That was not kickstarted.
Thank you.
All right, Tom,
Came out
question
20
from
years
you.
before there was a Kickstarter.
All right. Let's see here. What's the minimum to maximum players who can play the game?
On Board Game Geek, it says 1 to 7 players.
Ooh, I like this now.
1 to 7. 7 is.
So then you're
It's a
taking
particular
a guess,
number.
William. Yeah.
Well, because of the 7, all I can think is 7 Wonders, even though it's, no, not accurate. But let's go with it so not to drag.
7 Wonders
I'm
is
not
what
sure
you're saying?
what's the maximum.
Okay, yeah, that's not it. It's not 7 Wonders.
That's a good guess, though. I was gonna that's a solid guess.
Very
That's
solid.
a good guess.
All right, give me some good
Bonacor.
information here, Mr. Bonacor.
Question
No,
for you.
I'm going to ask the stupidest questions just so I can get information. That would be kind of gaming the game, which I won't do, of course.
Hey, if it helps you and not them.
Yeah, but I just feel too bad doing that. Is the game cooperative?
It is not cooperative.
Ooh, that's huge.
All right, so now I'm guessing a game here. 1 to 7, not. That game was. There's not many 1 to 7 games. I'll say Caverna.
Are you kidding me?
Oh.
Yes, it's Caverna.
What? Caverna plays 7?
Wow.
Yes, it does play 7, and it
All right,
wasn't
we're gonna keep
Kickstarted.
going because I need a second place here. Tom, you're this isn't fair. Okay, I
You made the game. What do you want me to do?
I thought it was balanced before I play tested it against you. Okay.
That's a sick good guess, man. I mean, just knowledge-wise.
Come on.
I didn't.
No, there's very few games that go to 7.
Yeah, I would never have guessed Caverna went to 7.
And again, I am not picking obscure things here necessarily, guys.
I know.
As you can tell.
Those are very not obscure.
All right, Tom. I'm having you start asking questions, man. This is not fair. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, that was what I said.
It's a brand new game.
All right. Let's see. What is the main category? If I was describing this game and someone said, "What kind of game is it?" What would be the first word I would say?
First mechanic, I guess you're kind of saying.
Well, sure. Like I might say it's a racing game or whatever.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I'm asking Z Garcia.
I'm trying to be both specific and vague. It is a, let's call it asymmetric. I would say that.
Okay.
All right, William, and then you get a guess.
Well, if we're talking asymmetric, we would say root.
That's a good guess. That is not it, but that's a good guess.
That would have also been my guess from asymmetric.
All right. Tom, I'm going to keep you asking questions, and these guys will just go back and forth.
All right. So let's see here. I'll ask the minimum, maximum player thing again. I like that one.
Okay, it is listed as 3 to 5 players. And then Bonacor gets a guess.
Scythe. Not Scythe.
That is not it.
I think Scythe is. 2 to 5.
All right. Tom, question. You're too good at this. That's what you get. Only questions.
No, it's fine. I'm trying to
It's a
figure out.
punishment. It's supposed to be a punishment.
Yeah, it's a punishment.
I'm trying to figure out something that doesn't make it too obvious when answered. Theme would give it away, I think. So would publisher. Are there dice in the game?
There are no dice in the game. All right, and then we go back to William.
Sure, if it is it vast? Vast?
Vast. That is not Vast. No, is that the one from the same root people?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is not it. All right. Tom,
So my
back
next
to you.
question. My next question is for Mr. Bonacore. Is this about the circus?
Oh man, it is not about the circus.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I tried to give you a good question.
Yeah, that was.
Didn't work out.
Wow. This has now become a little bit of a kingmaker scenario. Okay.
That's so nice. That's so.
Okay.
so
No.
nice of you.
Here's my real question.
I already answered one question. You don't get 2 questions, okay? In fact, I'm taking away one of your previous points. Oh, it's okay. You can have your points. Okay, what's your real question?
Okay. The real question would be, what's the length of the game?
The length of the game is listed as 60 to 120 minutes, 1 to 2 hours.
Ooh.
All right, Steven, what do you got? There's no dice, asymmetric, 1 to 2 hours, 3 to 5 players.
Agricola. It's not Agricola. No, it's not asymmetric.
Well, you guessed Agricola, so that ain't it.
That ain't it.
All right, Tom, question.
All right. Is it cooperative?
It is not cooperative.
Not co-op.
All right, and William.
Do you know what it is?
Many.
Tom, do you know what it is?
I don't.
So what would be asymmetric?
What would it be like? You asking me what that means, or are you thinking?
No, I'm thinking. I have to guess, right? It's my turn to guess, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's your turn to guess.
I don't know. I don't know many more asymmetric games. Lords of Valor, even though that's not it.
That's one of your games.
Nice.
It's one of the
Nice
fewest asymmetric.
promotion.
That would be good. If we had planned this ahead of time, I could have picked it and been like, yes, but no, that's not it.
Is it an abstract strategy game?
It is not an abstract strategy game. All right. Bonacore, what do you got?
Lords of Waterdeep.
That's a good guess. It is not
No, it's-
Lords of Waterdeep.
Not a good guess. I placed 2, I'm sure.
All right. We're gonna make
Do
things,
something.
We're gonna
That's
narrow
what
it
I'm
down
going to do
here.
here. Tom, give me a good...
Who's the publisher?
Yeah, that's the goal.
All right, so you're going to give me a publisher, and then I'm going to have you guys both pick a guess. Just because I'm going to... Now that you've both gone back and forth enough where I want you guys to answer simultaneously, basically. So, the publisher is... There are several publishers listed.
U.S. publisher.
The U.S. publisher is Fantasy Flight Games.
Oh.
I know it.
And you guys are both going to pick a guess or, just think of something or even write down multiple things. But you're going to, whichever one you tell me first is going to be, whoever tells me it first, I guess is what I should say.
Shout it out.
All right. All right, so do you guys know what it is?
Not really.
Bonacor, what do you
Yes.
think it is?
Lord of the Rings card game?
That's not it. Will, what do you think it is?
I don't know, Twilight Imperium.
Olympics a good guess. No, that's not it. Bonacor?
Game of Thrones LCG.
Nope, that's not it. I know Tom knows this too. he would get a third point.
Do you get it, Tom? You know it? Tom's not sure.
Yeah, he knows it.
I thought I knew it, but
Yeah.
I have a change of heart now.
See? It's a hard one.
Let's give a chance to Tom to guess.
Okay.
What was the number of players again?
3 to 5.
The number of players as listed on BGG is 3 to 5.
Let me ask this question.
Yes.
If you play with, can you add more players with expansions?
Yes.
Mm.
Do you happen to know off the top of your head how many expansions this game has?
Can tell you.
Do you know the name of the game?
I can tell you how many expansions it has.
I think this game has 5 expansions, but I might be wrong.
It looks like 6, Tom.
Oh, no! Okay.
All right. Do you guys have any idea what it might be at this point?
No,
Not
All right,
really.
let me ask you this. This will give it away to somebody, hopefully. What was the original year this game was published?
This game was originally published in 1977.
I think I got it. Can I guess? No.
Yes, go ahead.
It's not. It's Merchant of Venus.
It's not Merchant of Venus.
No.
No. You even tried to publish that. What's wrong with you? You know what? That was such
Why
a
is that-
dumb answer.
Why is
And I
that
think
so?
Will gets it automatically.
Why is that a dumb answer?
Okay.
That's too short.
Okay?
Not abstract. Not color.
That was terrible. Okay? The
Oh,
game.
it doesn't have expansions. That's right. No expansions. Shite.
Come on,
Sorry.
that was terrible. The game is Cosmic Encounter. That is the game that Fantasy Flight has republished from Eon Games and many other publishers. They've got a bunch of expansions for it now. It was published by Fantasy Flight in 2008, but the original came out in 77. So, Tom, you really wrecked shop here by getting the first 2 basically immediately, but because of Bonacor's various blunders, second place goes to William, who really just had to sit there and wait for Bonacor to fail. Just the best way to win. You know, that's the best way to do it. Let Bonacor dig himself into a hole, and then you just sit there and win. I love it.
Make me sad.
Well, to be fair, my connection was getting slow, so that's where I was very quiet.
First time a slow internet connection has made someone win a game.
There you go.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Hey, William, thanks so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. And like I said, we'll be showing your game off. It's because it's a silly racing game in just a week and a half. So thanks.
That's
and
Fantastic.
seriously,
Well,
Cosmic
thank you very much
Encounter,
for
3 to
having us.
5.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
All right, William, nice
2 to-
talking to you, buddy.
2 to 6.
Thank you.
2 to
Bye.
7, 2 to 6. Bye.
Thank you, man.
Let's go to
Thank
some
you.
contributors.
What is up? My name is Matthew McCack, and this is Smashing Buttons and Slamming Cards. This is a segment where I talk about a video game I love and I connect it to a board game I love. And this week, I want to talk about Wildermyth. Wildermyth is a very interesting role-playing style game where it's kind of like a board game almost, but in video game style. And you can play it solo or you can play it with friends cooperatively. And you're going through the story essentially, right? You create your character, you can have different skills and abilities and things, and there is combat involved, but mostly it's about the story and the different choices you make throughout that story. And you don't quite know what's going to happen when you make those choices, but it all unfolds into this main scheme of things, which is really cool. I love that, the story-driven nature of that game. So I want to connect that to Legacy of Dragonholt. I think that Legacy of Dragonholt is a gem of a board game. It is kind of like an introduction to role-playing games, but in board game fashion. So you could play this solo or, again, cooperatively with your friends, family, foes. I really, really enjoy it for its story-driven nature. The designer of the game walks you through like how to create a character. You can pick your skills and attributes and traits and all that sort of stuff. And then you use that throughout the story. But really, it's all about the choices you make throughout the story, just like in Wildermyth. And I also love both of these games, and I'm connecting them because they both have queer representation where you can be whichever gender you want to be. And there is like queer representation in both of these games, which is super cool for somebody like me who's non-binary. So anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like, you could check out mine and my brother's channel called Room 51. I'll catch you next time.
Happy breakfast, everyone. Today I'm here to show you Pathways because, to be honest, until the prototype had the potential of coming to me, I hadn't even heard of it, and I've had a lot of fun with this. Now, Tom has done on the Dice Tower a live playthrough of playing this, and well, I have certainly found playing it has been a lot of fun. It's prototype, yet these components are absolutely amazing. I love the way this board has been designed, full of holes for you to aim either around to try and sort of diagonal across or slowly fill in and create these pathways, hence the name of the game, because it fills in the board as you're playing and it's making the shot slowly easier and easier as you're aiming for your opponent's back line. I don't try to talk about Kickstarters on Board Game Breakfast much because it's a bit of an odd one, but the fact that I've enjoyed this and it's just hit the table, be it in a lunchtime at work or just at the end of the day when you just want to chat and just, you know, have some flicking good fun, well, it at least deserves some attention. It might not be for you, but it certainly has been for me. Anyway, that is Pathways, an amazing flicking game, which, as I'm proving now, I'm actually not that good at while on camera. We'll pretend I'm much better off camera. Until next time, have a great breakfast.
All right, everybody, let's take a look at the news for March 24th, 2022. So just last week, the Gamma Expo, the Game and Manufacturers Association, they have a trade show in which different publishers, designers, but mostly it's for the local game stores to get together. They get together to talk shop, you know, give each other ways to make the stores better, to meet the publishers face to face, to see the products coming out for the coming year. So attendance was 1360, which is slightly down from 2020, although again, it kind of bookends. Gamma is bookending the pandemic here because it was the last US convention that happened before the pandemic. In fact, people were pulling out right and left right before the show.
Sure.
And now we're post Omicron, so I know some people didn't go because of that. But still, that's a pretty good thing. All indications are news person from Dice Tower Now. Corey was there, and lots of games were being shown off, but the majority of games that were shown off, from what he told me, was stuff coming to Kickstarter. But a very interesting piece of news that I thought, there's a lot of people that were there, not there, but Peachtree Hobby Distribution was there. They're one of the big five, PhD, of distributors. They were the only distributor there. When I've gone in the past, all the big distributors were there. ACD, Alliance, GTS, Southern Hobby. Only one was there. What does that mean, Mr. Bonacor?
That, and I did not hear that. Thank you for bringing this up. I can't give you a reason why. Peachtree, by the way, is the smallest of the big five. And I think sort of Southern Hobby has left the big five. I don't believe that they're doing games, and if they are, they're doing very, very few games at this point. Why an ACD? ACD's had some issues recently. GTS certainly is surging, and Alliance is doing well. Don't know why they would simply pass up on a reason to be in front of the people they sell to. So yeah, that's a big I don't know.
I read what some of the publishers, some of the local game store owners said that they liked talking to publishers, and many publishers are now selling directly to local game stores, which is an interesting turn of events, especially with Kickstarter, occurring.
Yeah, I mean, certainly that's the case where some of the, I don't know, we call it some of the bigger ones are now selling direct, but that whole middle tier is not. I mean, everybody that goes through PSI, everybody that goes through impressions, there's a lot of people who use distribution. So why they wouldn't be there to wave the flag, especially also as maybe not our audience knows, but as you know, the gamma structure, the structure of the organization now puts distributors at the same level as publishers, as retailers, as content creators. They have a board seat now for all of those parts of the industry. So the representation there would even be more important. So this is very interesting. I'm going to do some investigative reporting on my own to try to figure out why this happened.
All right. Well, in less investigative reporting news, Tilt 5 is partnering with Asmodee Digital to bring in 3D holographic environments. If you could look at this picture here, folks, you see these people playing a game here. They're actually exhibiting at a conference that's going on this weekend, or right now, actually, the Game Developers Conference, which is not particularly a board game or even a tabletop convention. It's a lot to do with video games, although there is a tabletop subsection. I know several people in the industry are at this show right now.
Huh.
I'm sorry?
I said, huh.
I still am not convinced.
Huh.
I'm still not convinced by this particular technology. Like this, companies keep pushing this whole idea. They want Star Wars, where they're playing the game on the table, and that still hasn't happened. We still haven't seen anything like really break into the market. We have several of these giant iPad devices where people are playing on the table. We've had several augmented reality things where you use your phone and look at something. And Catan tried to do that VR thing, looking around in glasses, and all this stuff is kind of just, none of it has taken off with the consumer yet.
So Tom, this is an actual system that you buy, and then and then you start playing the game that in a 3D virtual reality. Is that what?
Yeah, I think you play the game and you look, and it's going to be a tabletop hologram. It says it's using Catan, Ticket to Ride, Gloomhaven, Terraforming Mars, Pandemic. That's big stuff. But this whole idea of sitting around a table where we're all wearing AR glasses and a wand motion controller just sounds like only the geekiest of geeks are going to grab this at first. So I don't know. At the same time, I do remember scoffing at the idea that people would use a smartphone to play board games.
Yeah, my usual question here is, do you need to buy a new game for this or something like that, or new components for this, or you're just taking your Terraforming Mars and now you're playing it in a 3D environment?
I guess we'll find out more.
Terraforming Mars, when you buy Terraforming Mars, the board game, Bonacor, it already is 3D, okay? I don't know what flat game you've been playing.
It looks like you need to buy AR glasses,
right,
a retro reflective game board, and a wand motion controller for the low price of who knows, but it ain't going to be cheap.
No,
retro reflective game board. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds cool.
I feel like these systems are going to continue to fail until someone hitches their wagon to goggles that have already taken off, like going to, say, PlayStation or Oculus Rift or whatever, and being like, you use this and maybe this other component that you buy, but you've already got these. This technology is doing well already. Not trying to start something from the literal ground up,
Mm-hmm.
That's too much competition when you've already got Google kicking you, and PlayStation.
Right.
You need to slip in with them, with those big players. I just don't see it happening. Tilt 5. No, it's not Google.
All right, let's talk about some games now. Acropolis. This is from Gigamic with Hachette. This is Acropolis spelled with a K. Gigamic has mostly done abstract strategy, and when I read through the description here where you're placing polyomino tiles or groups of hexagons, this sounds like abstract strategy, but that cover does not look like it.
Yeah, the cover looks cool.
Then we have Northgard, Uncharted Lands. This is also from Studio H, another Hachette company, and this is based on a popular video game. This is coming to retail in August 2022. I feel like I remember seeing this on Kickstarter, but I might be misremembering.
You know, this one caught my eye. I actually went ahead and looked it up on BGG, and the main thing that caught my eye was the designer. This is the designer that has done very few games, and I remembered his name because he's done a game, Tom, you might have played ages ago called Moai, which was Moai has like the Easter Island, and it's this card-driven game, but very confrontational game. I don't know if you remember that, where you could like literally burn other people's moais down, and like really, it was a violent, minimalistic game. Very interesting game, but he has like 3 designs. That's it. And this was like 2007, and now his name crops up again. So I looked up this game. Looks really neat, and I'm interested in seeing this person come back to the table and seeing what they've been working on. So this is one I'll be keeping an eye on myself.
My comment on this is Hachette. Hachette is going to become a major player in the industry. They are a huge company, hugely capitalized, publicly held, no, not publicly held, but they are owned by even a bigger company. So this is another piece of them pushing hard into the industry.
Okay, I got to say, cool. I think of all the companies of all the booths at Gen Con in 2021, the Hachette booth was the most interesting one. They had a lot of cool games coming, and I'm always excited.
Hachette is the 4th largest book publisher in the world, the 1st largest in France.
Is Hachette and Studio H the same thing? No, right?
Studio H is underneath Hachette.
Yeah, Hachette bought Studio H, or they developed Studio H, and I know and so they are the same company.
Got it. Very cool. Very exciting.
All right, so from the Gamma Trade Show, there was a lot of different games, but one that got a lot of buzz. I saw many people saying this is a game to look out for. Is this next game called Boop? Which, if I hadn't heard the buzz, I would have just like booped right on by this one, because I didn't think much about it. But then I read it's a spiritual successor to the 2019 abstract game Shobu, which I really like that game.
Cute game, yeah.
But this one, you think Shobu is a cute game?
Well, it's a nice, cool game for 2 players. That's what I meant. I love the production of that game. I don't mean cute like cats. Just nice, simple, works great. Sorry.
Well, this one is a cute game.
This one's cute.
It's 6x6 grid, and you're pushing meeples around. You got to make 3 kittens to make a cat, and 3 cats that claim dominance. It sounds like a very simple get things in a row game. I love that style. I don't love this cover, by the way, but like I said, there was a lot of buzz. This was the one. There was 2 games at the thing I heard a lot about. This was one of the 2.
Okay, 3 kittens to make a cat, huh? So it's a Frankenstein game. Got it.
No, it sounds like one of those merge games on you never played an app game where you like take 3 things, put them next to each other?
A match 3 kind of game. Yeah. Okay. That's neat.
All right. The next game is called Venn, the first game ever about a Venn diagram. When I say first, I mean it's the first to come out this year, because there's about 2 million games with Venn diagrams. But this one here, they're claiming it combines Dixit and code names, which sounds like a bunch of buzzwords.
Yeah, it really does.
Quick, pick 2 popular board games. This is like both of them. Now, actually, though, this does look better than most of the other Venn diagram games. By the way, one of the Venn diagram games is made by Matt Leacock of Pandemic fame.
Right. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about that game, as did everyone else in the world.
To the point where, for some reason, the name isn't even coming to my mind. I forget the name of that game.
Yeah. When you said Venn diagram games, I actually what other games or Venn diagram game?
There's several.
Really?
They're not necessarily where they showed the Venn diagram, but definitely this crosses this. Matt Leacock's was that way for sure.
Okay.
Anyhow, so you're using this to establish connections between different cards. So you're actually using the Venn diagram, not so much what matches all the different categories. And I find that to be interesting.
Yeah, okay,
So
that's cool.
This might work well. I'm looking forward. This is coming from the op. So.
Okay, good.
Very cool.
Alrighty. Now we have an expansion for The Hunger. I didn't know The Hunger had done well enough to warrant an expansion. But if you haven't played, this is High Stakes is the name of this expansion, which is a little weird the way this box is laid out because that name is very small at the bottom.
It does not seem like the title of this box, does it?
Yeah. But anyway, The Hunger
it seems like the person who illustrated it, their name is High Stakes or something. I mean, I know that stuff is across the top, but it just, I agree. That's a very strange place to put the name of this box I'm looking at. This box, to me, is called The Hunger.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I don't get that.
Well, The Hunger is the base game. It's by Richard Garfield and from Renegade. It is a deck-building, push-your-luck game that has a lot of similarities to Clank to the point where you wonder why you're playing it because Clank is about 10 times better. Unfortunately, no, it's just, look, I don't think much of The Hunger, actually. I think there's some flaws in the game, and it also doesn't play super fast. It's a deck-building game, but you keep adding cards to your deck that aren't that useful.
Does Clank have a Venn diagram, though? I don't think so, baby.
All right. Pendragon Game Studio has announced Escape from New York. This is based on the cult John Carpenter film. If there's a movie that you remember from your childhood, there will be a board game made about it.
Yep,
there
absolutely.
will be blood, yes. Snake Plissken, baby, he's back.
I gotta play Snake Plissken in this game, man.
Snake.
I'm sorry, I'll wait for the Escape from LA game.
No.
So basically the same game, because those two movies are basically the same.
Yeah, I escaped from New York. I'm playing this one.
Don't get too excited, folks. The Kickstarter for this, or actually it says crowdfunding, so it might go to GameFound. The crowdfunding campaign is happening in Q4 of this year. So if the crowdfunding campaign's happening, it's going to be a long time before you see it.
Okay. They're announcing it now just because it's so timely. They don't want you to forget about the movie. You know what I mean? It just came out not that long ago.
I'm surprised they haven't remade this movie yet. It feels like that's on the radar at some point.
It does seem like they're about to make. Actually, there was buzz at one point, and don't tell me why I know this. I was listening to a podcast, but there was a buzz of them making a third movie, and it was some ridiculous, like I think it was called Escape from Earth.
Escape from Topeka?
I think it was called Escape from Earth, and it was about, I guess, Snake Plissken literally leaving the planet. And I don't know if that's ever going to be made or not, but yeah, I'm down for another one of these awful movies. They're campy. Very campy. All right.
Reiner Knizia and Cosmos have announced My Island. So this is a successor to his 2020 game My City, which was a legacy-style flip and place game in the roll and write genre. This is another legacy game, also using polyomino tiles to build a city. Has a 24-chapter campaign with new rules and components, so I assume this will do just as well as My City, which did pretty well. I think it was nominated for the Spiel des Jahres. It was, yes.
I'm pretty sure it was, yeah.
So. Yeah.
I don't know that they needed to put houses on hex tiles so that showing that they're coming down onto the island. I don't know if they needed to do that.
That is a little weird. That's that thing that Z hates when they make. They put the design of they make a board game piece come into your art.
It's no, really. The rest of that composition, fine. That is very odd indeed.
Yeah, it's like, hey, wink, wink. It's a game, and we're like, no, we know, we got it. You can just don't wink at us. You know what I mean? Sell me the theme. Don't then be like, also, this guy is shaped like a meeple. Can you see? He's actually an actual meeple. I'm like, no, I know. But you should draw him like a dude. Don't break the theme for me. I'm already struggling with your thematic, stretching here. I'm not a fan of that. And you're right, the weird sci-fi ships coming in. That looks like a ship from Eternals coming in over there.
That's true. That is what that looks like. Oh, man, this game's going to be boring if that's the case. All right. Lucky Duck has made a couple announcements. First, Pocket Detective Season 1. And this has 3 card games in it where you're talking to witnesses to get clues to solve a crime. The games are progressive, so you have to play each one. I can't tell if this needs an app. It doesn't say it does.
Why would you think it needs an app?
Lucky Duck.
Well, because Lucky Duck has used apps in a lot of their games, especially their detective games like
Chronicles of Crime.
Chronicles of Crime.
Right. I mean, this looks just like a card game. I mean, box size and 29.
Oh, also because I can see Chronicles of Crime in the background here. It says 2400, so maybe that's why it's in my mind too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, this is more, I think. I mean, it looks like it's more under those just like you solve a crime with a deck of cards, and then you move to the next one, which is linked. That's kind of a cool thing. I've never seen that. One crime is linked to the next one in a deck of card play.
Yeah, that's cool.
And another reason I mentioned the app is because our next game, Dark Quarter, which is Van Ryder working with Lucky Duck, which is a really good combination for me.
Oh, man, yes.
This is an app-driven game of supernatural mystery set in 1980s New Orleans. That's really cool. That's a really cool theme. It's coming out later this year. They're going to be doing a Kickstarter campaign next month for this. You're investigators for the Beaumont Agency working together to solve mysteries, but they're mundane crimes with a bit of a mystical edge, a bit of supernatural in. And you have personal issues as yourself as an investigator. So an app drives this game over a series of linked scenarios.
Wow.
So,
if this game is coming out this year, Tom, and they're saying it might be coming out this year, right? Because there's a Kickstarter campaign launching next month. We recently did a top 10 games we were looking forward to. I forgot about this one because I've seen this cover before and heard about it a little bit. I am beyond psyched for this. Coming off of, this is the same designer, I believe, as Detective City of Angels. And you combine that and how neat that game is with Lucky Duck's technology and their mastery of using an app in-game.
I agree.
I am diving in this thing hardcore. This thing looks original, looks really neat. Yeah, I'm all in, man.
And it's got Snake Plissken in it. It's great.
Snake Plissken's in it?
Right there. That's him. What's his name? What's the actor? It's just
Kurt Russell.
That's Kurt Russell.
That is Kurt Russell.
Come
yes.
on.
Escape from New Orleans.
The Dark Quarters with Snake Plissken. Come on.
All right. I mentioned that there was 2 hot games talked about a lot of game. I'm sure there's more, and I'll hear about it. But this is another one. Leader Games announced Ahoy, since all their games have 4 letters in them.
Of course they do.
This is another asymmetrical game. It's pirates. You're going to have a goal. One player is trying to conquer islands, setting up colonies. Another one is doing a pickup and delivery. And so each one has something different, and they change the value of islands for others.
Okay, cool.
I heard it's not as complex as, say, Root is, which is fine by me, and, of course, has the same artist, you can tell there. I'm pretty psyched about this.
Oh, this might be my my second Leader Games game, because the other ones are a little too much so far for me to really sort of buy my own copy and dig into them. And I like Fort. Fort is really a very light game compared to Root and
Oath.
Oath, yeah, especially Oath. But this one, I really like Pirates. I really like the idea of us using the same board to do very different things and changing things for each other inadvertently sometimes, I'm sure. Yeah, this looks and sounds really neat.
I hope it's lighter than Root and Oath.
Do these guys use crowdfunding? I forget.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not always. Not always. So I don't know if it's going to crowdfunding or not. I think it is, but it might not be. They haven't done it for all their games, but I think. I might be wrong. Maybe they have. Well, we'll see. All right, our last game here, which is a surprise to me, is Empire's End. from Brotherwise Games. And the reason this surprises me is because the designer is John D. Clare, who I thought was like just wrapped up and sewn up by AEG.
Mm-hmm.
And the artwork by Quanche Moria. This is a good combo. I like John D. Clare's stuff, and I like Quanche Moria's art. Brotherwise Games has good production values. This is interesting. It's like No Thanks, where there's a tragedy coming, a disaster coming. You're all civilizations at the top of your game. Disasters are coming, and you're basically bidding to not have the disaster hit your civilization.
Huh. Okay.
If you do get hit, you get the bids from everybody else, and you get new abilities for your people, because hardship breeds innovation.
I love this cover so much.
I like everything about this. I like the cover. I like the designer. I like the artist. I like the company. I like the theme.
Yep, playing it.
That's cool. I wonder if it'll have clear cards, or if AEG at that point comes knocking on his doors like, John D. Clare, how dare you, sir?
How dare you?
All right. Okay. Well, sorry I'm choppy here in audio, but I'm still excited about this. All right, folks. That's the news. Let's keep going.
Good morning. I am Amanda, and I often like to tell you about a game that I wish I was playing, or maybe what I'm playing while I'm waiting to get a chance to play something else. But today, I actually wanted to tell you about a game that I had zero anticipation for, because I just found it and got it and have loved it since picking it up, and that is Rolling Realms, roll and write from Stonemaier Games. And this one, for me, just checks a lot of boxes, pun intended. So how does it play? Well, you roll these two big honkin' dice, you write the numbers down here, and then you use the numbers on two different realm cards. Each realm card is based off of a different Stonemaier game, and I really enjoy that each one gives you like a real little taste of that game. So anyway, so you go to your cards, you write down the numbers on each card, you score stars by doing different things, you get resources that you can use to adjust your cards. It takes about 5 minutes to teach, and then is hours of fun after that. And one of my favorite things about this game has been the many different ways I've been able to play it. I have played it as a palate cleanser between two larger games with the group. I play it regularly over Zoom with friends who live far away. And then I've also done it a lot solo, both going through the mini golf game that you can play, or just playing around by myself and seeing what it's like. And I know a lot of people follow the Facebook group where you can play along virtually in a sort of big meta group setting, which sounds like a lot of fun too, and I haven't tried yet. But that is Rolling Realms, one of my new favorites, an instant hit in my house that you should check out if you enjoy roll and writes.
Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella here from Meeple University. Today we have not just one, but two games. Libertalias, the older version, and the new one that just released this year by Stonemaier Games.
Yes.
So we've been talking about which one we're going to keep or which one not, or we're going to keep both. Firstly, let's point which one we like first. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Difference of opinion.
So why is that?
I just like, they are very similar games. It's a re-release. It's not a sequel. It has a few new characters, but I feel the influence mechanic
it's more gamer.
Doesn't add as much to the game.
Right. I feel like it's actually adding more gamey feeling rather than just party. Look, don't get me wrong. I like both. I like the art of this one because it's realistic, probably, but I do like in a different way because it's cartoonish. But I think Libertalia as a pirate, the art I like this one might be slightly better, but that little mechanic adds a little bit, just a touch more of things to it that makes it more gamery and more strategic. So what do you think? So that means we're keeping both. So what do you think? Have you played both? Let us know what you think. And that's it. See you next time.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Z twice over. Okay. Hey, folks, thanks so much for watching another Board Game Breakfast. Don't forget, we have a contest at the very beginning of the episode that you want to check out to win your own copy of a Jurassic Park game. Secondly, the Jack Vassal Memorial Fund auction is going on. And thirdly, don't delay to sign up to come to Dice Tower East because it will fill up. So anyhow, we'll see you all next time. Until then, we'll be back, I guess, later today at 2 o'clock to do our top 10 racing games. Until then, though, I'm Tom Vassal.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Stephen Bonacore.
Have fun racing. Wait, that's later.
Yeah.